we're back.
Yes.
What you think about that, Wayne?
Oh yeah, that's great, Mom. We're back. We're here.
Live speakers, communicate, let's talk.
Yes.
Communicate.
Let's talk.
All right, now communicate.
Let's talk.
That's right. And that's what we've come to do. Communicate with you, to give you hope, to give you a peace that surpasses all understanding, to give you a pick-me-up, to know that you're not alone. Not only that, but because of the guests that we have on the show, they can influence you, enhance you, and allow you to know that life can be awesome if you just be determined, dedicated to what you want and how you're gonna get it. So Wayne, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm all good, Mom. How you is? This is another good day. Let's tune into another episode while we're here to communicate and let's talk with our audience and also with our guests. We doing it big.
Yes, so we welcome you. And without further ado, we have our special guest who is, I call a boss, because she does so many things, but she never complains. I've never heard her complain, and we work together. But I just want her to share today, to communicate with you, podcast world, so that you can know that it is okay to continue the process of what you're going through, but don't let it overtake you. You take authority and come out on the winning side. All right, so our special guest is none other than Faith Brown.
I am.
We are so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we are. And you know, Faith, I just want you to share with the podcast world a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Hi, world. So I am Faith Brown. I don't look it, but I'm 37 years old.
Yes.
I have
Wow.
2 kids. One is Melody Neal, who is 10, that battles with sickle cell.
Awesome.
And my other child is Jiren Bedford. He just turned 17, and he actually battles with epilepsy.
Wow.
So I have 2 kids that have medical conditions as well as me.
Wow.
I have rheumatoid osteoarthritis, and I've underwent 2 to 3 knee surgeries over the last 2 years.
Wow.
So we all in the household battle some medical condition, but like Ms. Sharon said, I don't let it determine who I am, and I don't let it slow me down. Somebody has to get the job done, so I just keep pushing through.
Wow.
And thank God, you know, with the strength that he provides me with, I think that's one of the biggest reasons and ways that I'm able to succeed with everything that is, in, that I endure around me each and every day.
So sorry, Faith.
Mhm.
Well, you go.
No, but it
Could be worse.
It could be worse.
And
And
Yeah.
you know,
That's
on
true.
and on live speakers, you know, the thing that we want to allow you to know, podcast world, is that under any circumstances or whatever, the circumstances is, we can continue to rise above it. Right?
Yes.
We can rise above it because we will not let it take us down, but we will devour it and we will conquer and win. And that's why I have Faith on the show today, because we were talking and, I'm about people knowing about the people who can tell you about their experiences and share them with you and allow you to know that if they can go through it and make it, you can too. Yes, okay. And of course, we want to talk about today a mother's continued support and strength in the midst of a child's crisis. And Faith, I just want you to dive in and whatever you want to say, we want to hear it all. Yes.
Okay.
And just go back and tell us about, your daughter and son, however, in your own way.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you guys
You're
for giving me
welcome.
this opportunity.
No
You
problem.
got it, sis.
So today we'll focus on Melody.
Okay.
Melody is sickle cell SS.
Mm.
She was born with it. I birthed her, and upon doing her newborn screening at the hospital, I received a letter in the mail stating that her blood work came back that she had sickle cell.
Wow.
We followed up with hematology that confirmed that she was, of course, sickle cell SS. As time went on, we kind of really didn't have any problems with it until she got ready to turn 1. Melody had just began learning to walk. Shortly after, she had her first pain crisis, which attacked in the legs. I sent her to daycare. By the time I picked her up, it like worsened. They told me she was not able to stand all day. I took her to the hospital, and being that she just had learned how to walk, she had to learn how to walk all over again. So she did have her first episode of it being that severe that she needed to learn to walk all over again at the age of 1. Time went on. I think it's her 2nd year of life. I was introduced by the doctors a medication which is called hydroxyurea. It is supposed to decrease the chances of her having more of the sickle cell pain crisis. So again, this was kind of sketchy, you know, for any mom throwing their child on a medication, having to do research, knowing that this med is commonly used with cancer clients, patients. So that was big for me. And then she also had to be on penicillin to the age of 5. The reason she had to be on the penicillin was because it protected the immune system, because she was young and, you know, they're in daycare and it's easy for them to contract germs, colds or whatnot. That was supposed to be like a preventative. So I did start her on the hydroxyurea. I did notice that there was less pain crisis experiences over time. I think at the age 4 or 5, we came up to Georgia before residing here. And we were visiting. We went to the amusement park Fun Spot. At that time of our visit, it was cold and then it began to rain. With us getting caught in the rain and the cold, that triggered Melody into her next major crisis. Upon that crisis, she was rushed to Children's Health of Atlanta here in Atlanta, and we discovered that her right lung had collapsed. And she had experienced acute chest syndrome. A lot of people are not familiar with acute chest syndrome, and what that is just it's a form of pneumonia, but within sickle cell kids. So she went through that. We recovered from that. We went back home to West Palm Beach, and just over the years, we just have been on this journey where it's pretty much fighting to protect her immune system. It's pretty much building it in the ways that we need to for the red blood cells to flow. It's hydrating, which is one of her biggest battles. So we've just been, you know, over the years, and the worst time of the year is the second half of the year for her because of the cold. The sickle cell does not like the cold. It attacks the body. So it's a fight with her because with any child, they don't want all this stuff bundled on them. So, you know, I'm going through the ropes of, you know, buying the undershirts, buying the hats, buying the mittens, bundling her in, you know, leggings under her original outfit for the day, you know, 2 jackets sometimes. So the second part of the year is crucial for us because it annoys her. She hates the leggings and underclothing sticking to her. So
I can imagine.
it's, you know, I just try to kind of, you know, tell her like, hey, you know, like the doctor said, we have to dress warm, and then maybe as it warms up throughout the day, we can kind of take the layers off. So that's a big part for us. Again, like I said, the hydrating, that's year round, not just summer when it's hot. And the hydrating is very crucial because that is what allows the blood to flow through the system. I guess without it getting sickle is an easy way to explain it. So if she's not hydrated enough, that is one reason that could send her into crisis. And what happens when they're not hydrated is the blood sickles. It turns into a moon shape. A normal blood cell is circular and it just flows through the immune system.
Okay.
When she's not hydrated, it sickles, which turn into that moon shape, so it can't flow through. It gets stuck, and that's what causes the pain to come about. So when she's experiencing those episodes, we try to fight them at home. We're not always successful, as
Okay.
you've seen
Yes.
at work.
Yes.
Some days
Yes.
I'm out of office because they're not always successful at home. Sometimes we're landed in the hospital with an overnight stay. What those fights look like for us is one, trying to push fluids through. So we're hydrating her with water, and then we're using like a Powerade or a Gatorade, something with electrolytes.
Okay.
I try to go with 0 sugar only because it's, we try to cut back sugar anyways. And then if we're hydrating, we're doing a lot of it, we don't want to be pounding her with sugar.
Right.
So we do the water, Gatorade. There's this thing called lidocaine patches. It's kind of like Icy Hot, but it's
Okay.
a patch that we attach on the body. They're
Okay.
good for a few hours. They do have it in a roll-on format, so we can either roll it on or we can do the patch. We're implementing heating pads to try to bring comfort, and we're doing pain meds. These are hydrocodone, so these are stronger meds, ibuprofen, and then like for her, a normal child would typically take 5 to 10 mLs of
Right.
ibuprofen. With her and the severity of sickle cell, she's 25 mLs. So there's a huge difference from a normal child versus a sickle cell child.
Wow.
So that's even alarming for her dad. Like, he's on edge sometimes, like, that's a lot. And then remember, we're trying to bring the crisis down. So this is that big dose every 6 hours. So we're going in between the 2 meds. And then after 24 hours, if I can't beat it at home, it's an ER visit.
Okay.
And the reason it becomes an ER visit because they have stronger meds versus what we have home. And then of course they'll start the fluids through IV. And the meds that they typically get once we hit the ER, and they're back to back, and it scares me sometimes, but I know they know what they're doing, but as a parent, I'm observant too, because sometimes even though they have a degree, your child.
Yes.
So you have to be observant as well, and not just assume like they know, they're aware of what they're doing.
Right.
But the typical hospital meds, once we get to the ER, are fentanyl, morphine, Lortab, Toradol. So these are all the meds that she's getting. And sometimes you're like, wow, because they're literally back to back. It's not like we're gonna give her this now, we're gonna give her something else 6 hours later. It's literally like fentanyl up the nostrils, Toradol through the IV. It's literally like boom, 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 because their job is to get the crisis stopped or slowed down. So that's typically that.
Okay.
If they do that first round of the higher medicated drugs and that doesn't work, then it's pretty much a ER overnight. Like, we're stuck there.
Well, Faith, I just wanted to just say my hats are off to you, only because even when you go through crisis with your daughter, I've never seen you sad. I've never seen, and you do your job with excellence. But I never see you break. I never see you sad. You always have that smile on your face. What is really faith? What is faith really all about?
Having faith.
Wow.
You got strong faith.
Having faith for one.
Wow.
I feel like God came to me when she was diagnosed early on, and he told me she was going to be okay. Because I heard a lot of scary stories, like, oh, I had a cousin that died of sickle cell. I had this person that died. And I do, I'm thankful for technology and its change and the medications that they put in place for these patients.
Yes.
But God told me she was going to be okay.
Wow, that is faith.
He told me she would be okay.
Wow, that's amazing.
And she's a trooper.
She is. I've
Listen,
seen her. I've
she's a
seen her.
trooper. Because of her, I'm able to,
That's
push
awesome.
through.
That's
So
Yeah,
good.
she survived,
Yeah,
and now she thriving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's thriving, definitely thriving.
Yes.
And I am so amazed at your strength. And that's why I wanted you to come on the show, because I watched you. I watched you at work. I watched you, when you had to leave, or, things were going not the way that you wanted them to go, but you had to make a decision either to leave, to come and be, supportive to your daughter, or to, just sit and stay. And of course, those decisions that you made were not, I know, just for you. They were for her and for you, knowing that that was the best thing for you to do. I just applaud you because, in those times, I know they're not easy, but you make it easy. You make it to the point, and even listening to you and the diagnosis that your daughter have and the medicines, you have well equipped yourself
Yes.
and studied them, and even in those times, as you said, God told you that she's going to be all right, and you settled into that. Some people can't, but you can tell that the honest and sincerity that you show is that you receive that. And because of that, your daughter is thriving. She is excellent, and she's done all. Because tell us about the things that she's been or has done. I know I listened to her radio when she was interviewed on a radio show. That was amazing. So tell us a little bit about that, because from your perspective, I also watched you when she was on the show, and you still highlighted, the show, because you came in, and that sunshine that you have, gave people hope, not made us sad and said, oh, because you never show that part.
Yeah.
And I know that's God in you. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that.
So Melody, Melody's a superstar. Even at school, she is just, I'm like, wow, I wasn't even this popular at school. But yeah, she has a light that shines on her with everyone she meets.
Wow.
So through Children's Health of Atlanta here in Atlanta, that's the biggest children's hospital up here. We're very involved. We try to be hands-on with everything that they do. They do a lot for the kids, and right after Christmas, she was invited through them to do her first podcast on the radio station. We did it. She was a little shy, but she strived.
She did.
It gave her, just some insight on what to expect, because I think she knows that she's going up. That's just the start for her. It's the beginning.
Yes.
So
speak that thing.
So yeah, she went through with it. We did good, and then she was invited again for her second one right before she just took off for summer to go with dad.
Awesome.
She was invited to do her second one. So we've done the second one. It's pre-recorded. It's gonna air sometime in July. I am doing this one on behalf of her. She will be back around.
And she will be on the show.
Yes.
Podcast World. She's just out for the summer, but we wanted to bring her mom in because we wanted to headline you. Yeah, and all of the great things that you do in spite of taking care of her. And that's such an amazing thing, yeah, it really is. So what I wanted to ask you, Wayne, do you have a question? Or either like to speak to her?
All I can say is, Faith, you definitely, big kudos to you.
Thank you.
For you and your kids, what you doing for them, and also even y'all going through a lot of hardships and stuff with the medical crisis, y'all still pushing through, and you still, you trust in God, and you have this much of a mustard seed in faith. You have this much.
Yeah, she does have a lot.
You are strong faith believer and walker, so you definitely doing it. Faith.
Yes.
You're definitely on fire.
Thank you.
No matter what anybody else is going through, any kind of sickly disease or anything like that, you still pushing through. You don't let it get you down.
Wow.
You still, you take in somebody say you take few steps forward to go 10 steps back.
Yeah.
Or is it how it sounds?
Well, you take 2 steps forward, go back. I don't know, Wayne, but you know what? You finish out there because I think I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, because just know that you are just, like I always say, you are dominating the world and conquering your own way.
That's his motto.
And hey, you just on forward. You
Yeah,
got this. You
yeah.
on it. You just know you got this, and God's got you and your kids. He's blessing y'all every now and then, giving y'all more years to life. Even though you thought that they can just, it will end it all, but it's still, you believe in God that He'll give you more life and more, live more abundantly.
Yes, and that's so amazing because that is so true. Now, Faith, how do you speak life to your children?
Yeah,
We definitely pray.
just like we do.
I take the oil,
Oh,
the old school
okay.
way.
All right now.
I take the oil over the foreheads. We pray.
That's amazing.
We worship. Melody loves worship.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, definitely speak life into them. We try to get to church. And then I just encourage them,
Yes.
and
That's
I
right.
taught them that it's okay to be okay with their conditions. It's now a part of their life.
Yes.
Of course, they adapted to it.
Yes, and I just think it opened eyes for others. Like Miss Sharon was kind of
Yes.
saying in the beginning,
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's a lot of us fighting different things, and I get it. Like I kind of express to the world all the time. I know we want to protect our kids, but I feel like this is an open door for us because I feel like it'll help others.
Oh wow.
And
that's
I feel
amazing.
like, there are, there's always going to be someone new to, these different medical conditions. Always someone that, needs someone, to give advice, a listening ear, someone to relate to, questions.
That's right.
So I just feel like, I just speak life in them to just be open with their conditions. They can educate others.
Yes.
When I was working at the school, I would go in, we would celebrate sickle cell every September. I would go in, I would educate classes,
Oh, wow.
Melody's friends.
Wow.
So they would be on her when she would lag, like, Melody, you don't have your water. Your eyes are yellow. That means that's a form of the So yeah, it became a support system. Her friends began to know more about the condition.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
yeah, I just tell them to be great and be bold with their conditions.
Awesome.
Yes.
They can always educate others.
Yes.
And trust, and just trust in God, and also trust that they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I know when the doctor give you that kind of, that diagnosis, and then most people be freaking out, like,
Right.
what am I going to do? How am I going to figure this out? How am I going to set this? How am I going to make sure my kids are straight? I got to be with them 24/7,
Right.
make sure they're not lacking, they're not going down. But you pull through.
You pull
You
through.
push through.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And that's amazing. Now, Faith, what do you do for self-care?
Oh, yeah. You definitely take care of yourself.
Yeah, because you look wonderful.
Listen, I barely get those moments, honestly. There isn't really anything in particular. I am starting to work on it now.
Okay, because I know you were out of town and, you showed us pictures where you really had a wonderful time.
Yeah, so that's it now. Just
Okay.
trying to take those moments for myself
Yes.
because I am overwhelmed with a lot. I have the kids, our health conditions. I have a business. I work full time. So I'm just constantly going, but I'm now starting to create that space to just
Awesome.
have time for me to regroup, to
Awesome.
revamp, and
Awesome.
to just because I gotta keep me together. If I
That's
can't
right.
keep me together, I can't
That's
be here for
right.
the kids.
Can't
so,
pour from an empty cup.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So I'm so glad that you said that and that you're doing that or starting to do that because we as women, we give so much to everybody else and we don't pour back into ourselves. So,
Right.
at a young age, you're doing that and that's amazing. And keep it up because it's going to work out for you. You look glorious and radiant now
Yes.
and you want to keep looking like that. And that's
Thank
comes from self-care and taking time out for yourself.
you. Right.
Yeah. Just do you and be you, sis.
Right.
Mhm. And yeah, and also we want you to tell the podcast world about your businesses because hey,
Yes.
podcast world, these shirts,
Yeah.
hey, this is our person that makes our t-shirts. So
Yes.
she's amazing. Oh my gosh. So tell us a little bit about the things that you're doing, entrepreneur.
So that is another role. Like Miss Sharon said at the beginning, I wear plenty hats. So I do have a business outside of working. The business name is Neighborhood Shirt Dealer and More. And what I do with that business is I'm looking forward to it becoming a one-stop shop. I'm branding the business a little more, but for now, I specialize in t-shirts, birthday outfit, any kind of custom clothing, hats or whatnot. So that's my form of business. Within the next coming up weeks, I'll be renting out tables and chairs. That'll be an add-on, as well as the inflatable TVs that are good for like backyard kickbacks. So my hands are tied into a lot of stuff. Just I'm on all the social media platforms. Neighborhood Shirt Dealer and More, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
Amazing. And say that again so they can get that information.
Neighborhood Shirt Dealer and More LLC. I am on all platforms on Facebook. I am on TikTok and also Instagram.
And what is your name?
Faith Brown is the name, CEO. Phone number 561-768-8102.
Okay.
Call for any inquiries. Thank you.
And thank you.
No problem. Thank you,
We are
guys.
so glad that you were able to take some time out and come and be with us on Live Speakers
It
Radio.
was a
Show.
pleasure. It was a pleasure. I can't wait to be back.
Yes, and she will be back on Podcast World because we're going to interview her and her daughter when her daughter comes back from her summer vacation. So we say to you, Podcast World, there you have it, an example that knows that she's one and her family, to be an example to help others to know that even though we are going through a lot of things, we still know that we've been called, we've been chosen, so that others can see that what we're doing, despite the things that we go through, we're still pressing forward. We're still achieving. We're still being successful. And that's what Faith is doing. And just because we know that she is truly a life speaker, because of her just being the example that God has called her to be, speaks for itself. So you know what, Wayne, do you have anything else to share or to tell Faith or to say?
Just hey, just keep pushing forward and continue to do you and be you also for your kids. Hey, live life to the fullest. No matter what you go through or what the doctor diagnosed you with, you still got a life to live. And still live it to the high fullest and live life and love life because you didn't let it stop you.
That's
And Mom, you didn't let the doctor stop you when they told you that I was a tumor in your belly when you died.
That's right.
Before she even thought she was pregnant with me. The doctors before she got pregnant, the doctors diagnosed her, thought I was a tumor in her belly. But my mom, just like you, she got strong faith and knew something was rooming in her womb.
Look at him now.
Yeah, and then they gave her pills to take thinking I was a tumor.
Dissolve it,
But
the Lord said don't take it. Yes.
And so she
Praise
went
God.
and went and got a
That's
second
right.
opinion
Yes.
during when you was
You were, I was
about almost 4 months
4
in
months.
your pregnancy.
4 months.
Got a second opinion, and here I am 30 years later.
Yes.
Praise God.
So that, again, an example.
Yes.
Wayne, thank you for making that known.
Yeah, never listen to man.
Yeah, never. And always know that God can do anything but fail. And that's what Faith has shown us today. And we thank you so much for joining us. And we say, come back, okay? And even on our YouTube page, Wayne, you want to say a little bit about that and helping them to subscribe? Because we need your help, because we're trying to create shows that you can see and be encouraged to keep moving forward and speak life to you also.
Yeah, you can go on our YouTube channel if you enjoyed this show, enjoy our episodes, and tune in to anything new we got coming up. Look us up at Life Speakers, Communicate, Let's Talk. You hit that like and subscribe button. Also comment if you love this episode or any other episodes. We got them in tune for you. Show you we appreciate the love and everything. You come to support us, and we definitely got you.
Okay.
So hey,
thank you.
Thank you. Continue to build up. Okay, we here to build each other up, not tear each other down. Stay positive.
That's right. And also, continue to speak life to yourselves and your
Yes.
family, or anyone that you know that needs to be lifted up, because it makes a difference when you speak life, when you show someone something that they maybe cannot do for themselves, or tell them a word of encouragement. It makes their day better. So as we say goodbye to you now, but we will be back with another great show. Faith, we thank you so much for coming. And we say to you, thank you, and continue to speak life to all that come your way. Bye-bye now.
Much love. Stay easy and be blessed, all right?